Hey guys, it's Reese. Before I get into the live more for the car baseball and video game baseball game stuff, I wanted to say sorry. I was trying to clear notifications on one of my devices, and unfortunately, I accidentally clicked on one, and let's just say it showed up with something that surprisingly, I'm surprised YouTube even allows deemed acceptable. But it's probably more, acceptable for like people that are adults like me and other kinds of people that are like 20 years or older type thing. But I don't want to go into details about what it was, but for all intended purposes, I'm just glad that it didn't show up directly in the stream, like the device that it was on didn't show up physically facing the screen. So because of that, it's like you catch yourself before it actually turns out to be way worse than you think. Like you made a small mistake, and then it's like, oh, you just realize it's a small mistake, not a super big one. So yeah, it happened to be on my phone, unfortunately. Sorry, I have to just do something. Well, that's done. Now we can get this game started, hopefully. Yes, we are playing in a slightly different area than before, but the good news is we still have all the car baseball things ready to go. Sorry if other background objects or items are being shown. I have to. Well, it really was more my choice, but I just thought moving it here would be better because this is a place where I'm doing car baseball or other live things. Early here in the day for me, kind of thing would be better because there's not going to be too many background distractions. I mean, there might be, but not as many as if I was in a different part of the house. That is. Well, I mean, because again, everyone does all their live streams in different locations and stuff. So yeah, I'm not talking about live streams, but what I mean by live streams is that they do it in different parts of their living area, depending on where they live. I don't know how people would do this if they live somewhere in like an apartment because if you live by yourself, that's great. Then you can do stuff like this all the time, kind of thing. But if you're living with more than one person, then they may find it weird that you're playing with toy cars. So yeah. Anyways, let's get this game started and underway because it's just one game, and then we play some baseball game stuff on the mobile devices, and then if I have time, I'll do a Q&A. If not, then sorry, no Q&A. But I think we should have time. Um, USA was home twice actually, so they're going to be away this time, meaning that they'll actually be hitting first in this game, even though it's not a regulation game, because this is the All-Star game, like I said. So, yeah. The bad news is that if the bomb, which is the penny, goes into something over here in the playing area and it goes too far down there, I'm probably not going to have time to get it, and that would mean the game's forced to end, sadly. So let's just hope that doesn't happen, but it probably might. Well, that's gone, first pitch. We have international All-Stars versus USA All-Stars, and the only reason why Sweden, France, and NASCAR don't have All-Stars playing, but 5 cars from other teams do. What? Why is there 2 cars from Italy? That's weird. There's 2 cars from Italy. I did not realize that. I just realized that now. There's 2 cars from Italy. Well, to be honest, France and Sweden don't really have, all-star type players yet, because I haven't seen any of their players do something super big for them to play here. So I guess that's why I chose these players instead. So yeah. And now I just realized that, well, to make it an all-star team, you should have players from every team. But if I was to do that, then it would just make this game way more confusing. So it's better to, I guess, at this point have 2 players from the same team instead of, 1 player from every team, because then we would have 7 players. In total, sorry, that was bothering me. I am so sorry I had to do that, but that really was bothering me right now. Hopefully that doesn't have to happen ever again. Sorry if that was super weird or bizarre or strange or not normal to do during the live. I mean, if I was to make this a video, you wouldn't, see stuff like that happening. But yeah, I probably should have, done that before this live, but I didn't realize it was bothering me until I was already live. So yeah, I'm so sorry that that bizarre, or strange, or weird background distraction had happened. Anyways, enough talk about that. Let's refocus everyone and get back to car baseball. Yeah, because it just hit him, so they're not going to call that officially out. And yeah. And since it hit him and he looks like he could get to it, I'm not sure if they're going to call that a triple or ground rule double. I think they should call that a double just because it hit him before it fell. Yeah, that's a double. The Dodgers thinking it's triple because he went to third base thinking that, he knows it's not a home run kind of situation. Whoa, that's the 55 Chevy's first player interference call with the catcher. Nope. That goes past him a little bit more than planned. Who's ever here, thanks for being here right now. So yeah. I'm trying to be a little bit more, nicer from now on in all of my live streams, because I said this yesterday and I'm going to say it again. During questions and answer part, I am answering any kind of questions you have except for super personal ones. Because I would kind of deem those as not really meant to be asked on YouTube videos or live stream type of questions. Like you can ask questions like, what's like, what colors do you like and stuff like that kind of thing. Just don't ask ones that are super personal, because then I won't answer them. I will just say, sorry, I'm not answering that kind of question because that's considered too personal, in my opinion. And, it's okay that everyone has their own opinions on stuff like food and drink type things, but, if you ask them stuff that's a bit too personal, then they're going to be like, okay, that's a weird question. I don't think I feel comfortable answering it. or you just don't say anything when they ask it because you realize it's too bizarre of a question to answer. He hit it right to that dodge. He's still on base. Well, someone's gonna have to take the out, and it looks like the dodge is going to take the out for Team USA as the bases are reloaded. Wow, that was the not best hit by that Plymouth there, because that's automatically a force out by the Dodge stock car, not the Challenger drift car. It's still only 1-0. It looks like it's hit him before he went backwards. Yep, it did. Bases are going to get reloaded because of that, and it's 2-0 USA. Well, it's 2-0 USA All-Stars versus International All-Stars. Or we could just call it Team USA versus Team International All-Stars. I mean, either way is fine because, it's USA up against International. Well, everyone's safe because the Honda got a bit of the ball, but not too much, though. It's 3-0 USA. USA is playing small ball with International All-Stars, and somehow it's seeming to work so far. Well, I mean, given the fact that this is an All-Star game, we don't really have an inning rule limit type thing, but for all intended purposes, since they have 1 out, 2 more outs, and then it's bottom of the first. And since it's only 4-0, I think we could easily do 2 innings. We're not doing 9 because that'll take way too long. So yeah. Also, this weekend, I do believe I am going to the special diecast store. That's about 1 to 3 hours, give or take, on road delays. The only reason I mention road delays is because this is a bit further, place to get to by traveling in a vehicle of any kind. And if there's road delays, it can get closer towards 3 hours to get there. So yeah. Anyways, enough talk about that. Let's refocus on car baseball. The good news is, since I'm the only one physically here right now and there's no one in the chat feature, these side chats by myself are okay. But if anyone else had joined, they would be like, what is he talking about for road delays? And why is he mentioning that kind of thing? That's why I'm saying side chats are, they're acceptable to happen in, my live streams. Just keep in mind, if you don't specify who you're chatting with on the side chat, which, I really don't want it to be me because I'm the host. And then if you start talking to me about side chat stuff, it's going to throw me way off course of what I'm doing. Well, they have 2 outs. I mean, it's still only 4-0. Well, that fouled. That was a loud foul ball. It hits the alpha, but since the Dodge is still technically right in front of the alpha, they're going to have to say that's considered a grand slam because he did not fully get taken fully off the base. So, yep, they're calling it gone, grand slam. And not to mention, I do believe that is the Plymouth Formula Barracuda. The 68, is it? Yeah, 68 Plymouth Barracuda Formula S in green. Well, 2 green exterior paint jobs, but really more green exterior paint. That's their first grand slam in car baseball as of today. Yeah. Well, that was huge because that kind of just made this game score way bigger than I had thought now. Well, it's the final out of the first inning. 8 runs is not that hard to come back by, but given the fact that it's, kind of earlier than planned type thing, yeah. This is going to be interesting to see what happens, because if USA shuts down the International All-Stars team, then, yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I think the green Plymouth from this year's 2021 P-Case mainline cars should be player of the game after he hits that grand slam, because I don't think he's hit a grand slam before this game, actually. Someone keeps showing up and showing out in this live stream, and I'm not sure who that is. Sorry, that was bothering me. Every time, I end up doing a background distraction or random background noise, I do apologize for it happening, because, sometimes it's like when you're so excited that something happens and goes your way and you don't expect it to, you get a bit too excited and planned. Well, there's one gone. Ooh, they have a dangerous base runner. And he's done it again. He's gone first to home. Unfortunately, during the All-Star game, stolen bases category does not increase or decrease. Yes, the Aston Martin does have 6 stolen bases. However, these 3 do not count. And that it might make him a little bit confused as to, why does it not count? Well, it's because it's the All-Star game. And then the All-Star game, stolen bases, don't really count, kind of thing, because it's not a regular game. It's like the best of the best players from both teams or divisions, kind of thing. So yeah, and because of that, that's why it's not going to change the stats for stolen bases or home run category. The home run category is not going to change either. So yeah, if anyone's wondering why no NASCARs are playing, it's because NASCAR is technically USA 2.0, and then if that was to happen, we would have France and Sweden All-Stars be on a separate team. And then we would have a second All-Star game against NASCAR All-Stars, and that would seem super cool and all, but again, I feel like NASCAR would beat both of those All-Star team players, for France and Sweden combined in one team pretty easily. So that's why I'm not doing it. And also, again, NASCAR is USA 2.0 because it's an American car racing sport. Well, it's 8-1. Trying to, hurry this up a bit. But I'm not saying why, because I don't have to. It's my choice. I mean, yeah, I kind of had time for this already, but I never told anyone when the car baseball All-Star game was going to happen, so yeah. I mean, if we can get the second inning done way quicker than planned and the video games part done, we will have a decent amount of time for Q&A part, actually. Nope, that's a hint. That's a hint. And that's gone. It's 10-1. Well, USA expands their lead. Well, USA or USA All-Stars expands their lead over the International All-Stars, or Team International. There's one gone. Not the biggest out they needed. He doesn't quite catch it, but they're not going to take any chances, and that's probably smart to do that. Nope, they can't turn for 2. They were trying to get a double play because he may or may not have gotten a player up before, but he just couldn't do it in time. That's fouled. Wow, the Chevy's stolen 2 bases in the All-Star game. Sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry for that super bizarre and uncalled for delay, but had to take care of a few things really quickly, and now we're back. And unfortunately, I'm not going over details of what happened when I was gone, because that's a little bit too personal type stuff to say here. So yeah. Anyways, time to refocus on more for baseball, and then baseball video games. Well, that's the second inning done for the top part of it. Anyways, let's see what happens in the bottom of second. I mean, if their team does score, want to say the score is 10-1 actually, because they only scored one run. Yeah, if they score 11 runs, they win the game. The International All-Stars will. But I don't think that's going to happen because surprisingly, all their best players have been pretty much hitless so far to this point. Because USA is doing really well. Having that happen, yep. Just like I said, there's another really great player hitless. And there's another one without a hit. Well, Hudson's going to stop in scoring position, but I doubt anyone's going to score him home at this rate. It looks like he had turned before the pitch had hit him, so they're just going to call that ball one instead. Wow, that was lined right to the third baseman, and because of that, no one's going to hit him. First base did get pulled off the bag, but not by too much, so because of that, they're going to say both runners are safe and safe. So, yeah. Well, that's a really bizarre hit from the Mercedes. Well, it's 10-2 now after that really strange hit. I mean, one more out, and then we do the baseball video game play. That's gone. Instead of game over, it's game continues. And it's 10-5 now, actually, after that hit. And that's gone too. Well, USA All-Stars is trying to hold on for this win. I mean, if they do, they gotta give credit to that Plymouth who made it 8-0 in the first inning. Because given the fact that the 2 runs they scored was off a home run or just base hits last time, I think that Plymouth should be player of the game because he got the biggest home run that gave them the huge lead in the first inning. Nope, he doesn't catch it. Well, the Aston goes to third base. He's just one hit away from a cycle. I'm starting to get a little bit, anxious and nervous about what the result's going to be of this game. So I guess that's why that home run just happened. And speaking of home runs, that made the game 10-. Well, it was 10-1, then 10-2, then the 3-1 home run made it 10-5. I want to say it's 10-7 or 8. I know it's not 9 or 10, but it's 7 or 8, I believe. It's 10-7. Wow, they're only hit by 3 runs now. That goes right in front of him, but somehow it's still enough to be called a base hit of some sort. Nope, that zooms past him, and that's going to cause a huge scoring error chance for the International All-Stars team. If they hit a home run, it's tied game. Oh my goodness, look who's up next after him. If he hits a grand slam, he'd be player of the game because he would cycle, and it's very rare that you see a player cycle in the All-Star game. Because apparently, the few times that players do cycle in real-life baseball, college or professional that is probably during a regular season game, not playoff. And he plays small ball with the pitcher for USA All-Stars team to confuse him and load the bases up. It's gone, and USA All-Star loses the game to International All-Stars by 1 run, 10-11. I can't believe that this happened. USA loses to International All-Stars. And it's probably because they kept all those hitters hitless in the first inning, but couldn't do it in the second inning. They were literally 1 out away from that happening. And surprisingly, just couldn't happen. Oh, you have to figure out where the other. Oh, there it is. Well, player of the game somehow ends up being, instead of that green Plymouth from the 1960s, well, mid to late 1960s, that is anyway, it turns out to be a newer car from probably like 1 to 2, well, either from this year or a few years ago. Well, either way, the player of the game is the Aston Martin Speedster, the V12 one from Hot Wheels Mainlines, from Q-Case this year. But in more simpler terms, we would just call it the AM V12 Speedster. So yeah, the Speedster is player of the game for the All-Star game because he hits the game-winning home run with 2 outs, and the pressure was really on the International All-Stars team to beat USA All-Stars team. Given the fact that they only lost by 1 run means that, that was way better game than I had expected, actually. So yeah, that was a big, shocking turn of events in the second inning. I really thought USA All-Stars had the game wrapped up in their favor, but not this time. Well, what I mean by favor was since all their players got hits in every inning, well, the first and second inning, that is, I thought they were going to win, but nope. The International All-Stars team proved me wrong. Sorry if I mispronounced a word, and yeah, it's probably because I was talking a bit too fast that time. So yeah, well, here we are with player of the game post-game interview. So you end up being player of the game somehow after your team is down by 9 runs in the second inning, and somehow you come back and score 10 runs to win from behind. How is that making you feel? And not to mention, you're the one who gets the game-winning home run on a grand slam. And you thought your team's going to lose because you have 2 outs. And somehow you did a swing just big enough to end up winning the game for the International All-Stars car baseball team in the 2022 season, All-Star game, that is. Well, to be honest, I was not expecting this to happen. I'm just so surprised and shocked that we even win against USA All-Stars team. I mean, both of our teams have really great players. However, I am leading my team in the regular season, UK, that is, for stolen bases. I don't know who's leading my team in home runs, but I think I'm probably tied with everyone else on my team with like 2 or 3, I believe. So that category doesn't really matter too much to me at the moment right now. I mean, it probably will if I try to get more home runs. Then yeah, it's going to start mattering to me way more. But stolen bases is way more hard to do, or just as hard to do compared to hitting home runs in car baseball type thing. So yeah, I was not expecting this to happen whatsoever, and surprisingly it did. So yeah, given the fact that I hit the game-winning home run, I really was not expecting to do that. I thought it was going to be the final out, or like a base hit and make it 10-8 kind of thing, and then the next person hit, and then basically what the Aston's trying to say is that he was surprised that he ends up hitting the game-winning home run instead of having to have a few cars after him get the game-winning run scored, whether it's a base hit or a home run of a different kind. So yeah. But given the fact he hits the game-winning Grand Slam home run to win it for International All-Stars team, he is so happy that it happened. And not to mention, they only end up winning by 1 run against USA All-Stars team. That's really huge. Your team's probably going to think about you differently come regular season games after this All-Star break is done. So, yeah. Oh, and also after the All-Star game, or before, it probably should have happened before, is we have to do a home run derby thing. See who hits the most amount of home runs, not counting distance, because then that would take too long, but who hits most home runs and ends up winning the game, kind of. Well, it's not really a game, it's more of an, home run game thing. Like you just hit home runs and that's it. And if you don't hit any homers before time runs out, then, your turn's up and you don't advance to the next round kind of thing. So, yeah. However, we don't know who's going to be chosen for the home run derby because it's probably going to be random selection most likely. Because they will just choose one player from each team and you never know who it's going to be. I mean, I'm hoping it could be me, but it could be someone else from my team. And if it is from my team for UK in the home run derby, I am fine with that. So it's the Aston. Well, you heard it there. Aston Martin Speedster, the V12 one, player of the game, because he gets the game-winning Grand Slam home run to win the game for International All-Stars team in the All-Star game. We're going to still do some, baseball gameplay stuff. Just, have to get it showing up, though, because otherwise it's not going to work then. So, yeah. In TSB 21, the all-time great players have been upgraded from 560 to 580. And I think they don't upgrade the all-time great players until like 2 to 3 or 4 weeks, after the previous boxes for like that many weeks ago have been gone in the game. So yeah. I have some new players. Most of them are not super new because you've seen most of them already. But yeah, one of my newest players is Carney Lansford. He's on both of my teams. There he is. He's actually not gold level 10 on both of my teams, though, so that's the only difference. Luis Gonzalez is new, but I've already shown him. However, I did not show this player. Yeah, I just got Bryce Harper sometime yesterday after the event had ended, and I'm so happy that happened because I really wanted this player. I honestly did not care which team I got him on. I was just really hoping to get him on my phone team, but that's not going to happen anymore anytime soon because, unfortunately, the fan rewards boxes end at 9 a.m. for me. So, yeah, which is, if we're going to, talk about this in time zone differences, it's technically 9 a.m. my time, 8 a.m. West Coast time, 11 a.m. East Coast time, 10 a.m. Central time. So yeah, I'm really glad I got him. He's already up to gold level 10, which is huge. Unfortunately, I don't want to say this over the live, and I probably won't, but this game, when you join clubs for club event things, you really think that you're going to stay in one club more often or not, which, was kind of true for me, but unfortunately not really this time. Yeah, because normally I'd stay in at least 1 or 2 clubs in the previous TSB games, well, the MLB TSB games that are only on certain kind of mobile devices. Had this game been on computer, that would have been cool too, but then it would be, a bit interesting to figure out the controls and all of that. But given the fact it's called, tap, as in you have to tap to do stuff, and I guess you can't really tap that, you don't get the same tap feeling when you do it on like a computer or, a video game controller kind of thing. So I guess that's why they had to do it here. Another new player, which was a surprisingly huge pull for me yesterday, was Joe Morgan, and he's one of the newest legend players, not ATG ones, but one of the new legendary players from last weekend's boxes. Yep. So I got him as well. Pitchers, not too many new. The only thing that is new is that some of them have been more upgraded than others. I have another gold level 10 pitcher. But these are my two newest pitchers, Verlander and Kershaw. I have Kershaw on my other team as well now, actually. I had Verlander on my other team, but I just didn't want him on there, though, because, I have reasons why I don't want him on that team. Also, speaking of new players, this one everyone got for free as of Friday last weekend. It's the Pitching Ninja Prime reliever version of Trevor May. He is a 520 Prime, and surprisingly, they just gave away a reliever pitcher for free in this game. I'm kind of surprised by that, actually. But given the fact he wasn't found anywhere else in the game, it's like, how else would you get him then? So it's like, oh, well, now that makes sense. Or they could have put him in, two other places in the game, but they might as well just give him for free, I suppose. So yeah. All my other players aren't that new. So yeah. I do have some new players on my phone team, actually. Like I said, I have Lansford on both. So because of that, I'm not going to show him. These are new players. Nelson Cruz, Amos Otis, Gary Templeton, and Chris Bryant. They're all new players for my team. So yeah, glad that they're on my team. And then other players, not so much new. And like I said, I have Kershaw on both of my teams, same with Trevor May. So don't really need to show them then because I've already shown them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to have to get questions answered pretty quickly. And given the fact that there's no one here, I guess that means there are no questions asked. Thanks everyone for watching. If anyone did show up, like I said before in a few other live streams, I tried to plan around, other channels, schedules and stuff, but given the fact that it is Thanksgiving week this week and weekend, that is, people are going to be super busy with, unexpected events to happen kind of thing. So I totally understand why not too many people are here right now. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you like this live stream. I do apologize for any and all background noises or distractions that happen that I end up having happen, or that other people coming and going end up making or doing, because unfortunately we can only control ourselves, sadly. So yeah, I mean, if YouTube comes up with a way to make people delete certain items they don't want in their videos or live streams, that would be huge, because then it's like, oh, that's not going to be shown in here because, sorry, I watch so many commercials, but, something like the iPhone, their new iPhone thing has a magic eraser thing, so you get rid of unneeded, well, not necessary, like background items or objects kind of thing. So, yeah. Sorry. This is happening right now, but this is kind of bothering me. Well, that's it. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. I really do actually need to go now.